up, guys? Welcome to the podcast presentation number 1. So, my name is CJ Neal. I was going to start with some questions, and then because I wanted to answer, but with 5 questions in a row, but it's the only problems that we could talk about. Then I talked about AirBnB. So let's take some look at some questions, and then when we got an answer, so we about to get started. So let's go to the podcast questions. And number one podcast number 1 question says, how did the founders of Airbnb get started? So my answer says this: the founders got started by renting out 3 air mattresses in their San Francisco apartment when they could not afford their rent. They noticed that hotels were full during a design conference, so they created a simple website called AirBnB to offer visitors a place to stay. The backgrounds and graphic design helped them build an easy-to-use, trustworthy website and created a strong brand, which played a major role in Airbnb's early success. So that's where designers build those buildings with a lot of beds, bathrooms, kitchens, and hotels, something like that, because they don't have a design conference, just sleep. Individuals comes to sleep and get a room, and then that's fine. That's okay. They will get sleep, wake up, eat some breakfast, and then they're gonna have some fun. So that's okay. All right, and number 2 says, what were some early challenges? And number 2 says, some early challenges that faced were finding enough customers, convincing people to trust the idea of staying in strangers' home, and raising money from investors. Many investors rejected their idea because they did not believe it would succeed. To keep the business going, the founders even sold special cereal boxes during the 2008 U.S. presidential election to raise money while they continue improving Airbnb. So but they haven't enough customers to pay, also paying to raise money for it. And even when you get a job, you raise money, and then you can buy a house, buy a car, and also buy clothes and food. A lot better than groceries. It's like that's fine. And the basic challenges is like face to face. So if that's okay. So, and number 3, as a startup, how were they able to finance the company? So my answer says this: they were able to finance Airbnb by using their own savings, borrow money, and sell limited edition Obama's O and Captain McCain's cereal boxes during the 2008 U.S. presidential election. The cereal sales raised by $30,000, which helped keep the company alive until they were accepted into the startup accelerator Y Combinator, where they received the funding and mentorship to grow a business. Because this was like it. So you would check on your bank account, the savings, and checking his savings, and then go to the bank. You get with money and finance your bank account. It's like it's a bank account, it's some money, but that's okay. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to spend the money. Keep the money if you have, and then don't spend a lot of money. Don't spend a lot of money so homeless. It's like that's okay. That's fine. Because you won't. Because that's gonna be okay. And you raise that money, so there's no money with. Yeah. So let's go to the next question. The next question says, what surprised you the most about this podcast? And my answer says this, what surprised me the most regarding this podcast was, it's like that the founders were turned down by many investors who refused to give up. Instead of quitting, they came up with a creative way to raise money, sell limited edition cereal boxes. It also surprised me there's a simple idea, renting out air mattresses in their apartment grew into one of the world's largest hospitality companies through creativity, persistence, and strong problem solving skills. But one of those like the founders and the one that want to get turned down, like many investors need to work in and did not get tired, did not get sleep, because one investor is going to get back to work because it's get back to work and work and work and work. So like that's fine. Then you just have to work and get some work done. It's just like got the construction and something like that, like like create something new, like you know what I'm saying. And my last question, according to chapter 2, how different would it be to start an Airbnb in Mexico, capitalist economy, versus one in North Korea, communist economy? So I'm telling you about the definition of capitalist economy and communist economy. So here's the number one definition of capitalist. A capitalist economy is an economic system where private individuals or businesses own the means of production and operate for profit, with market force largely determining prices and resource allocation. So just have a private ownership of resources and production. So this looks like, which is fine. Oh, and then number 2, a communist economy means an economic system in which all property and resources are collectively owned, and production, distribution, and pricing are centrally planned to achieve social and economic equality. It's called communism, and it's circulate, and then it's like a class society, something like that. It's like with so, and then enemy says this by showing. Alright, so the mayor says, chapter 2 explains the differences in starting an Airbnb from a capitalist economic perspective versus a communist economy perspective by showing how businesses operate under each system. In capitalist economy, the founders were free to create their own business, take financial risk, compete with other companies, and earn profits from their idea. They were able to attract investors, respond to customer demand, and grow Airbnb into a successful company. In communist economy, the government would have much greater control over businesses, and the founders might not have had the freedom to start their own company or make independent business decisions. This comparison shows how the capitalist system encouraged invitation, entrepreneurship, and competition, which help Airbnb succeed. So, like, do you think, like, if you want to just create your own businesses or create their own company, you will take financial risks, like, that's fine. Like, it's like, if you got to do this, you can create it. And create their own businesses, create the jobs, create their own merchandise. That's okay. Like, you could do something. But it try to, you know how to focus, you know how to learn, you can try to do the work. Because you got to try your best to work as a group. Or like to work as a group at the businesses or the companies. Like, that's fine. And you start their own company. And like, that's okay. It's like you can do whatever you want. But that's fine. It's only similar differences. So capitalism and economy to create their own businesses. And the other difference is in communist economy to start their own. But founders might not start their own company to have their freedom. So it's about the founders create their own businesses. And founders might not have the freedom to start their own company. Like something. Alright. That's how to do with the Airbnb, is how to do with businesses and companies. So that being said, alright guys, I'm Senior Neil. Thank you so much for watching on podcast presentation. So again, if you guys have any questions, so I'm gonna reach out to you. So my name is Senior Neil. Thank you for watching podcast presentation. So in Ellis Way. So see you guys later.